What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about 4 games I wish I played more of in 2022. Now, this is specifically games that I played, and these are not bad games, by the way. These are not games that, I stopped playing because they're disasters and I wanted to get away from them. These are just games that because of other games that came out or whatever the reason may be that we'll talk about, that I didn't play as much as I, would have liked to. I think I actually did a video on my main channel for members only, if you're a channel member on my main channel, where I talked about games that I just completely missed out on this year that I want to get, and that's a video that does exist in my network of videos on these channels. So let's talk about it. Let's start with the biggest one, but one that I actually did play quite a bit, in my opinion, is Elden Ring. So Elden Ring is a game I do wish I actually played more of. So let's go through the stats about Elden Ring. I put in around 50 hours in Elden Ring, and I loved it. I really do. I'm going to do my Game of the Year awards on my main channel. I'm going to kind of rank the games I've played, so I don't want to tell you, where Elden Ring falls in the ranking, but I loved it. I loved it quite a bit, and this is actually the very first one. I've said this story before, but this is the first From Software game that I've even remotely gotten this far in, right? Most of these games, Sekiro, even Bloodborne, Dark Souls, any of them, 5 hours, 6 hours, maybe max. Like, I really don't make it far in any of these games. I could argue like they're not for me or whatever the excuse may be, but Elden Ring, it worked. I played it. I played so much of it, but I didn't beat it. I didn't actually finish the main stuff in that game, and I certainly didn't go around and kill all of the side bosses or everything there is to do in this game. I didn't platinum it, any of that kind of stuff. So this was one I was thinking about. I have 3 others. There's obviously 4 in all, but I was thinking, could I put Elden Ring on the list? And it's like, yeah, I could, and it's for a different reason, because Elden Ring is one that I get 50 hours. That's a lot of time. I put close to that time in Horizon Forbidden West. I beat that. I platinumed that. I think it was kind of because Elden Ring and Horizon were in a competition in my, not even in my head, in my household for what do I play tonight? I only have so much time. Which one do I jump into? And I kind of made it almost even. I played both of them. It's just Elden Ring, required a little bit more time. I probably got burnt out. I was playing it along with a friend as well. I didn't play it as much as he did, and I don't fault him at all. He went through it, he beat it, he did all that stuff, and I kind of just felt like, I don't know, could I do this game, the rest of this game, on my own? The answer is probably no, so I kind of just put it down. So hopefully I can go back into it. I don't know when I would have time to do it, but I hope to end up doing that. The next one is actually a game that released a little bit before it, and it's Dying Light 2. So Dying Light 2 is an odd one. It's a really odd game to think about when I think about it and how I feel, because I overall really liked it. I liked Dying Light 1. I actually feel like I played, because I didn't play Dying Light 1 all that much, but I did play it. And Dying Light 2, it comes out. I was so into covering it. I really liked doing videos on it. They did really well, for the channel leading into Dying Light 2. And then it came out, and I knew what I was getting myself into, right? You have Dying Light 2, and then right after, I think just 4 or so days, I don't know the exact days, but there was Sifu, and then Horizon was 2 or 3 days after that. Within, I'd say, a week and a half of Dying Light 2, Sifu and Horizon both came out, and then a few weeks later, Elden Ring came out. So I knew, okay, Dying Light, I'm going to put in the time, and I'll see where it goes, and then, I'm going to have to put it down, and then maybe I'll pick it back up. Hopefully I will, depending on how the other games go and how much I like Dying Light. So that's kind of actually what happened, is I put it down. Now, I put around 25 hours, which is, I would say, quite a bit for 5 days. I only played this game for 5-6 days. I'm going off the memory of literally early February, but I really tried to put in as many hours as possible, and I'm not rushed, just do whatever I wanted to, side stuff, collecting, getting better weapons, all of that kind of stuff. That's what I did, and I had a lot of fun. I really did. But it's odd because I put it down to play these other games, and then I just never had the feeling to go back in. I always thought about it, but I never actually did it. Now, would I like to do it at some point? Yes, I would like at some point to go back to Dying Light 2, because when I played it, I overall enjoyed it. I don't see the same backing of Dying Light 2 as you did 1. 1 was so special, and 1 is kind of still around now, and they supported it for years, right, even through Dying Light 2. So I don't think Dying Light 2 has that same kind of backing. It just could be like the circle I'm looking at though is the wrong circle, but and that's okay, you know, because again, when I was playing it, I enjoyed it. This was a really fun game to me, and I wasn't expecting it to be like the greatest thing ever. I guess it was just something to get me through time, like just play something for a few days or a week or so, and then get into other games. So it did fulfill its role, but you know, I really enjoyed it in the 20 or so hours I played, and I would like to, you know, continue and see what the rest of the game has to it. Number 3 is going to be Lego Star Wars, right? So this comes out early April, and I really don't have an excuse for this one, I'll be honest. There were some Switch games that came around this time, like Kirby, and then I think Switch Sports came out at the end of April, I'm pretty sure. So there were a couple other games, but this is a game I played with my daughter. Her and I were playing it together, and it's just, I think it's just because it's so big. It's a pro and a con for the game. Like, you can kind of get lost in it, and you can play it for hours, and I guess not really accomplish much in terms of the main story, which is also a pro and con, you know, all in its own. And I definitely did enjoy my time. It just became a game where it's like, I don't know, I've played, you know, parts of this before, because, you know, but obviously this is a newer thing. I will say this. Talking about these games makes me want to actively play them more. Lego Star Wars is a game I would like to go back to. I guess I just never had the push to actually do it. I didn't even beat all of the episodes in that game. In fact, I didn't even do the prequels, which are some of my favorite ones to play in, you know, in terms of gaming. 1 through 3 for Lego brand. I love those. I didn't even unlock General Grievous, my favorite Star Wars character. So I do have to go back into it. And again, I don't really have an excuse. We did play this quite a bit, quite a long time, my daughter and I, and we both really enjoyed it. I think it's just, you know, can I blame her? I'll just maybe throw it at her and say, I will say this though. No, honestly, I did ask her a few times if she wanted to play, and she said no a few of those times, so maybe that was the reason. But no, I mean, it's been like 5 months, 6 months since that happened. I don't know if I have an excuse for not going back. Final game is Evil Dead the game. Now this one's also, I mean, all of these I guess are tough in their own way. I loved Evil Dead the game when I played it. Loved it. And I don't actually remember like a stat sheet for you of like how many hours I put into it, but I put in quite a bit. And again, I don't remember if any other game, like why did I stop playing Evil Dead? Had to have been because of another game, but I don't really know what other game came around, you know, the time. I think Evil Dead was end of May maybe, so any game that was early June. Maybe the Quarry is what maybe stopped me from doing it, and I also got the Quarry early because I got a review code, so maybe it's because of something like that. But I really enjoyed my time with Evil Dead a lot. It was a lot of fun. I thought it was very different, but it was rewarding. It was difficult. I got really good. Honestly, I feel like I got really good at both sides of, you know, playing as the survivor and then also the demon. Like I like that game a lot. And again, thinking about it right now, really do, like, I have very fond memories of it. Now, will I go back into it? Multiplayer games are tough because I've talked about this before here and there. I tend to have like a very small group of multiplayer games that I keep with me kind of at all times. And by keep with me, I mean like just installed on the various, you know, platforms. And those are games I'll go back into when I'm in like a lull, or when I just like need a break from, you know, if I play a couple new releases in a row and I'm like, all right, in a way kind of burnt out, where it's like I just want something, I guess, to turn my mind off, even though like you gotta be smart, you gotta know what you're doing with Evil Dead specifically even, but Evil Dead doesn't really fit in with the group. Like Rocket League is always a mainstay on my list. I have Halo like on Xbox. I keep it pretty, like I have Multiverses. I could keep going, but I keep a pretty short list, and Evil Dead hasn't cracked it. So I wish Evil Dead did, and I wish I would just like make the decision to do it, because I actually have been playing a lot of Rocket League the last couple days waiting for the next wave of games. Could have been playing Evil Dead, obviously didn't, but no, this was a really good game, and you'll see in my ranking video, I feel like you'll see like Elden Ring is going to be pretty high. Evil Dead I think is going to be pretty high. Like I genuinely enjoyed I enjoyed all 4, but those 2 games are really high, I would say, on the list. It's just, you know, Evil Dead didn't stick with me. But it is a game I would like to go back. And I kind of have, like, that specific spot for Evil Dead, right? Because it's a multiplayer game, it kind of fits in my just lifestyle, where it could be one of those games that I kind of circle back to every now and then, play it when I'm kind of feeling burnt out from other games. So I feel like this maybe has the best chance to be played of the 4. I think Evil Dead is one that I could do. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.